We've got our special contestant this evening, Lloyd Metcalf. If I can get my doodad to switch here. There we go. There, now it's up. Now we're up and running. Lloyd, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to be on Who's Monster. I love this show.
Yeah. We're excited to have you. When you said, I think we were watching, well, you said, when we were watching or doing Luke's game last week, it was like, yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer. Of course you should be on it. But what we were just talking about some of the stuff going on here before the show started, and you got any updates for anybody on AppleCon? Anything new since your post the last couple days?
Yeah. Well, they've closed. The Cornish Inn has closed the inn for the rest of the year. I talked to Rick today, and he's like, "We're just going to pull the Band-Aid off," and they've just converted it into their house. So that kind of puts us in this weird pickle of, do we have a venue? So we just put the entire convention into a holding pattern. We're going to see where things are in July or so, and maybe we could still use the barn, possibly. But I don't know where we're going to be at. So
Sure.
We're in a wait and see situation because it's October 2nd is AppleCon.
Right. Yeah. So it still seems like it's a long ways off, but if the hotel's closing down for the rest of the year, or closing down, and then at least for the rest of the year, that kind of makes it difficult. Sure,
but there's plenty of Airbnbs around. There's a couple of cheap motels. They're not like the classy places that the Cornish Inn is. So
sure.
I have mixed feelings about the whole thing. We'll see.
Certainly, yeah, I can, and I can definitely identify with you. Having just we're still working on refunds for CobaltCon. I was very happy to see Tabletop Events this week implemented a cancellation button that they hadn't had before, but unfortunately for us, it's an all or nothing. Like, you hit that button and you go through the process and it refunds everybody everything, which we're, just like you were talking earlier, we're not in a position to take that hit, so we got to figure out a way to mitigate that as well. So I definitely can identify with that. Danny? You there? Oh, Danny's gone.
Yeah, I'm here. Get some whiskey.
Yeah,
get some whiskey. Makes you
get
feel
some Cheetos. Hey guys, where are the Cheetos? Hey, Phil. So how the heck are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I had an exam today.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I did.
Did you smoke it?
So here's the funny thing. I've been so busy, I forgot to watch all 3 lectures on.
Oh no.
Online, so I was like, well, we're going to rely on my 9th grade science education for this astronomy class and all the documentaries I fell asleep to over the last 40 years, so we'll figure it out. I got an 80%.
Oh, hey. A B, even.
Right,
out of your 9th grade. Yeah.
So, thank you, Carl Sagan.
Well, that's great. Congratulations. Well, we'll just let Danny tell us how he is as he goes through the evening. So, Lloyd, you have watched the show a couple times. You kind of know what we're doing here. Did you come to the table with any ideas, any thoughts in your head, any kind of creatures that you've been just itching to bring to the table?
Well, one of the things that recently came up during Alyssa, I was on Alyssa Faden's show, and who's the folks that are commissioned her to do that big map? Dwarforge or something like that.
Yeah, it's I think it's Dwarforge. They're the big fantasy
Dwarforge. And I always talk about my hen house at Cluckingham Palace, and they had her put Cluckingham Palace on the map there. So I'm in the process of working on a chicken adventure.
Oh God. Okay, that's awesome. Cluckingham Palace, huh?
I'm not dictating anything to Phil, but Cluckingham Palace.
No, that's your job. Phil doesn't think during this episode.
Yeah, you're the contestant. Yeah. Okay, so
Phil does what he's told. That's what Phil does.
Draw, you monkey!
Draw, I'm here. I'll beat you again.
Somebody start playing the organ grinder.
I lost sound there for a second. Tell us about the Chicken Palace?
Well, the Cluckingham Palace is going to get a rebuild this summer. Was the intent, but it's a woodshed that I converted, and it's got chain link fence on all sides to keep the critters out. But then I built a roof over it. I keep adding onto it. I've got a painting out there that I did. I didn't know what to do with, so I hung it up for the chickens. It's a painting of a puffin on a seascape, so they can be inspired while they're laying their eggs. So. Put a little window in there for them. I keep adding to it.
Right.
You're giving them.
Go ahead.
You're giving them the false hope of an Arctic adventure.
I am, yeah. And God help me, this is probably going to end up being a 5e adventure too. I'm gonna try to get through that.
Hey, those there's definitely a place for those types of adventures. That sounds pretty fun. All right, so what are those Final Fantasy chickens called? The ones that they ride around on?
Oh, that's right. I don't remember.
Chocobos. Chocobos. There you go. That's something. Although that's already clearly in somebody's IP space.
Probably Axebeak is too, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a creature back from the days of my youth when I read Alan Dean Foster. Did anybody else ever read Alan Dean Foster?
Yeah, Paths of the Perambulator.
There you go. I read all the earlier stuff, the Flinks series and all that stuff. And there was a thing in there called the Stupava running bird, and it was basically their equivalent of a horse, but it was basically an axebeak. It could fight, and you could put a saddle on it, and they were real tall, Baba Yaga-like legs on them and stuff.
Right.
Well, that's what we were talking about on Alyssa's show, but it was my hope that there would be like 4 chickens hooked to a cart so we could do like a circus Maximus, chicken Maximus or something.
Chicken Maximus.
Cluckus Maximus or...
Actually, yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty hilarious. Axebeak is in...
Is that in the SRD?
It is in the SRD. So we could riff off that. Kind of funny, actually. One of the Google searches has the chocobo when you search Axebeak. What's the so you got Archaeopteryx? That was the real fossil size one. I don't think that was giant though.
Maybe it's time for a mashup, a remix. We take the Axebeak and stick something else onto it and glue some other bits down.
Sure, a pickaxe beak or something.
Pickaxe beak. Ooh, a double axe beak.
A Beck de Corbin beak.
There's some pretty terrifying pictures actually. If you look in Google under Axebeak, I would not want to run into some of these critters. So, chicken.
A chicken Axebeak.
Is this like the big bad for the adventure? What's the running, like, what's the overall theme for the adventure, you think?
I've barely got a concept.
Well, then I see we put a Triceratops head on it.
That's it.
I second
Lloyd,
that.
if you leave us an opening, we will go right in, man. We will go right in.
There it is.
Yeah, so what about some kind of instead of a bird, I mean it's still chicken-like, but what if you had... Yeah, I like Triceratops. Maybe even the crest has like the crest on it.
A flying Triceratops.
Yes, with an axe beak. But it's a pickaxe beak.
Well, I was thinking more like Velociraptor. I don't know how you make a chicken out of a Triceratops. I mean, the head. You can do the head for sure.
That's why Phil's here. Now get to work, Phil.
Yeah, no pressure.
Draw for your dinner, you bastard.
Oh, I just found a Cluckatrix. That's hilarious.
Well, that was one of my concepts for the thing. I was thinking about having, instead of a cockatrice that turns people to stone, I was thinking about it would turn people into chickens.
Okay, so instead of, I like the protective, what do you call that thing? Sheath, like the protective thing that a Triceratops has. I mean, its whole thing can be around the head, but this, I like that idea of turning things into chickens too. That makes it a little more common. I feel like it needs to be a little more comical, if that's the case.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
have
think?
a I have a chicken out there that I think is a hen, but for the longest time I really thought it was a rooster, and I named him Jeremy Cluxon. Uh, but I'm getting eggs, and I suspect that he's an egg layer. So I misgendered my chicken.
That's terrible.
I know.
All right. So does this
So-
dude have horns?
Yes. I'm demanding horns.
And a chin
Sold.
spike.
Sold.
Oh sure, yeah. He's got to have an attitude like a Bantam rooster, you know. So it's like cockfights are go to a whole new level with these things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And do we go more leathery or feathery?
Both.
Do you like
Yeah, I like
do
that. Fleathery.
you like
Leathery.
what's that- like the new all the new pictures of velociraptors these days. They all have like feathers in their armpits and stuff.
They do.
That's right. We're embracing a new paradigm, Burrow.
Triceracox, cluckatops,
Oh God, this is always the tough part, isn't it?
cluckatrop dicks.
I don't know. Poultrysaur? What is that? What is the scientific name for a chicken?
What is this? Is this a small creature like a chicken size, or is it?
It's starting to feel like it's going to be like kind of big.
I think it needs to scale.
Hold on, I'm gonna shrink it in a minute. I just get
Genus is Gallus, family Fascianidae. I'm getting out of my. I got just way above my pay grade.
Okay, so let's do small a-hole.
A-hole
chicken
is
has?
alignment. Chaotic a-hole.
Chaotic a-hole. We'll make this guy small.
The Archaeopter rooster.
Ooh.
I'm furiously Googling.
Archaeoptuster?
That's clunky. It's clunky. It's not flowing.
It doesn't slip off the tongue.
It doesn't. I'm gonna make me drink. Bad, Danny. Bad. Oh, I like what I'm seeing already.
A Triceracox.
Yes.
Oh, Triceracox.
There's no innuendo in that name,
That's
whatever.
when Matt saw PG-13 flying right by.
And every
Commonly.
male watching is like, I'm using that tonight.
The
Name of a
Cockoptrix.
chicken?
That's amazing. I'm gonna get that tattoo, dummy.
Triceracox.
Triceracox.
Jeez. Oh man. All right. Yes, I would. Give him some sort of. You're getting it. You're getting it.
And teeth. Gotta have them little teeth. Them creepy fucking teeth.
Or maybe he has the beak, but it's like serrated beak. You know?
Right. That's what I mean.
There you go. Instead of teeth, do a serrated beak. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the creepy beak.
I like you already got the waddle going on there.
Gotta.
Yes.
Sure as shit, it's gonna turn into a poison sack.
And with a tentacle.
Triceracox.
Toxic gizzard.
Ooh, giblets and death.
Giblets of death. Right next to the toxic gizzard.
Oh boy. I mean,
So I think what the thing is with opteryxes, things that are opteryx, because there's a whole bunch of different ones, is that they still have bones. They still have bones with claws in their wings.
ooh, okay.
Well, once you lose the claws, then you turn into like more of a modern bird.
Dig it.
And maybe it has a little bit too to do with having a membranous wing rather than a feather covered wing. You have like a feathery wing.
So you're still in the sort of pterodactyl zone.
Yeah. I keep imagining too that this thing, like once it latches onto you, it doesn't let go. So like maybe more of the stuff should be barbed and serrated. Like once it gets its beak in you, it doesn't come back out.
Yeah.
Or the horns. I don't know. So far, it's looking real cute.
We're gonna fuck it up in a minute.
That's how it lures you in. That's how it lures you in. It's like, oh, look at that cute little.
Is this your first show, Danny?
Yeah. It's only a matter of time and proof.
Where's everybody online?
Being quiet
Bar just
right
popped
now.
in.
Hey, Alyssa said she might be by for a raid at some point.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's going to do that. Alyssa is like a +3 Vorpal gal. She's super
She is.
sharp.
Yeah.
She's doing. I think she's doing a map show, or it should be ending up a map show right around sometime here. All right. So you want to do small?
Hey, by the way, Matt, really like the iClass separators on the windows.
Yeah, wasn't that? Phil probably can't see that, but I've got the. Danny actually had a great idea to put swords as separate, so we didn't have to mess around with the freaking video windows all the time. And so I did that with the iClass. So I made your iClass up there is separating each of the video things, so I don't have to cut the.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, cut the panels out. All right, is this guy fast or slow? He's probably.
Hey, does anybody remember back in the Phil Hartman days of SNL when they did that skit, Something's Always Cooking at the Cluckin' Chicken?
I don't remember that.
Something's always cooking at the Cluckin' Chicken. And then they would cut his head off and he'd run around, blood squirting on everybody. He goes, hey, that's me. Hey, that's my head you just cut off. Oh, man.
I do not remember that one.
Oh, my God. It's so good. It's so good.
All right, this guy's not terribly strong. He's kind of dexterous. Maybe
So we
kinda
did a
cute.
devil. We did a devil last time, right? So what? This is a small beast, right?
Yeah, the Gax Fiend. Phil sent me the art today. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna start coloring these things. I might do a little like
Oh, that's a good
coloring
idea.
a coloring show at some point.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. You need to do it like picture pages with Bill Cosby. Do you remember that when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
You had the little bee on the pen.
Yes.
So my parents got me that dumb pen and coloring book when I was a kid. That pen didn't do shit when I got it. Bill Cosby did all kinds of stuff, and I got this dumb bee pen that just barely wrote. For you, Bill, and your pudding.
You probably had to save up all kinds of
Oh, box tops, yeah.
box tops. Yeah.
Send it in. That's how I got half my Star Wars figures.
I just came across some green stamps the other day.
Ooh.
Green.
Hey, thanks, Mike Ritter. Appreciate that.
Hey, all
Bought
right,
himself
Michael.
a pack.
Michael Ritter just stopping in for a moment to say wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
All right, so basically these are pretty similar stats to a cockatrice. So what do we want to do?
I don't know. I keep thinking that maybe it's eggs. Maybe it lays some sort of like hellish larval eggs that are explosive or something, but then that doesn't make sense biologically because how do they reproduce?
Make sense biologically? What?
It would be nice if they laid eggs that you could like chuck and they explode or something, you know?
Yeah, it lays grenades.
Oh.
Like, or they burst into lava, like little lava bombs or something. Maybe it's like a infernal chicken.
Oh, I like it. Devil chicken.
All right, devil chicken it is.
That's not good.
And then the eggs hatch like little. What were those salamanders? Maybe it hatches like a baby version of a salamander or something until it grows into a Triceracox or whatever we called it.
It's stuck.
Oh, and Eric Rooster. I don't know that the name isn't really like. I think Danny's right. That name doesn't really roll off the tongue. Eric Zooster.
Eric Zooster.
Eric Zooster.
Zooster.
I feel like that's somebody's name.
I went to high school with that guy.
Apologies to Mr. Zooster.
All right, we need. This being like, maybe this is a elemental plane of fire chicken.
Oh my god, yeah, it'd make the best little familiar for a warlock or something.
So yeah, there you go. That's kind of the explanation for the grenade eggs, because on the elemental plane of fire they don't blow up; they just hatch like normal. But on the prime plane, boom.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it to get it out of my system, but hot cock. I was obviously,
you just had to say that.
We can't do it, but now I feel better for having let it out.
If you didn't 2 o'clock this morning, you'd be waking up going hot cock.
It's like this Tourette's disability of cock.
And somewhere Google's algorithm raises an eyebrow. Hot cock, he says.
Tonight is not the night, Danny. Go back to bed. You're drunk.
Nobody's even made him drink yet, and he's already.
Well, he made himself drink, so.
I did because I was embarrassed for my own stupidity.
All right, folks. So what do we got? Fairly dexterous because he's elemental plane of fire. No constitution bonus. Still dumb as a chicken. But
fucking stupid.
Wise. Yep.
So stupid it'll look up in the rain and drown with its mouth open.
Really? Chickens do that?
No,
turkeys
will.
Really?
Turkeys?
Yeah.
Turkeys, I don't know.
They'll just stand there looking at the rain.
Yeah, my old man used to raise peacocks, and I guess they're as bad as turkeys.
Are they?
Or worse. Yeah. Believe it or not.
Mammals will always win because birds are dumb.
Birds are dumb.
Oh, somebody got a resistance. Michael is suggesting resistance to necrotic damage.
Ooh, okay. So why can't it? I think we're starting to see that this thing has some sort of. Is it a familiar?
That's what I was saying.
So.
I think
I think so.
I think it's like a warlock familiar or something like that, or
a necromancer's familiar.
It feels more like we're kind of heading toward infernal kind of bird here, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the
we just did a devil last week. We just did a devil. So I was thinking I was thinking elemental plane of fire versus another
elemental. Yeah, that's good.
There's a plane that Orcus rules too. But I don't think that's fire. The Lord of Death.
So what does this thing eat?
I think of the word necrotic.
Well, bantam is another name for a type of rooster, right? Bantam.
Yeah, they're
there
small.
you go.
That's
like
a
that
small
name.
version of a chicken. Yeah. Maybe they eat fire beetles.
Ooh,
They eat fire beetles and shit grenades.
Fire beetle larvae, yeah, because fire
They eat
beetles.
fire beetle larvae and shit grenades. That is so wrong.
Hey, everybody! Thanks for tuning in. This is Whose Monster Is It Anyway? With our contestant tonight, Lloyd Metcalf of Maximum HP Magazine and AppleCon. Why don't you tell? Well, you got a second, Lloyd. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Maximum HP?
Maximum HP is the old school zine for the new school world. I write it in first edition. Sometimes I slip a little bit into second edition. It's a short zine. Although I say short because it's small in size, but this last one that I just printed is 50 pages, and I think the next one's going to be over 50. I get rock stars like Tim Kask to submit content, Chris Clark. It's really been a heck of a lot of fun, and I really like the short format writing. And I got a Kickstarter that's live. Can I slap that link in there?
You can send it to me. I don't know if you have permission to send it. If you want to message me real quick,
If I do.
Absolutely. Oh, there you go. You do.
Let me do it. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it's I've really enjoyed doing that. And while I've been quarantined at home, I started doing a podcast with Maximum HP. Just really keeping myself super busy. The company I run, Fail Squad Games, which is where I produce, all my modules and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed old school, but I'm warming up to 5e, and I just bought the books on D&D Beyond yesterday.
Oh, there you go. That's great. Yeah, I have yet to pull the trigger on D&D Beyond, but I know a lot of people speak very highly of it.
Well,
it looks very cool.
D&D.
I just have all that money.
I went for D&D Beyond because I don't like the organization of the books. I really love the basic 5e introduction box set. I was super excited, and then the book organization sort of lost me. But I think D&D Beyond, I can click on the stuff that I need, and there it is.
Gotcha.
Hey, Phil, real quick.
Yeah.
Can we maybe bring that neck frill down around its throat so it almost has like what do they call that in medieval armor? A gorget or a like it protects its whole neck. Right now, to me, it's just feeling a little glued on the back of its skull. But if we brought it down around more of its throat, it would.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking
like
about.
Connect it to the jaws or something, maybe. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Or just behind the jaw. Yeah.
Yep.
Just do the art, okay? Just do it. Do art.
Do what I say.
I had a art director once tell me, hey, do what you did, but do it good instead.
I want what you gave me last time.
Hey, there's an Ickless. Yeah,
I don't work for that guy anymore.
Just redeemed the oh my gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. The Ickless. What's the second? We made the monster and I can't even remember of it. The second stage of the Ickless.
Oh, it had NXS in it.
It did, and he just played the card. Dang it. Anyway, thank you, Michael, for playing that card. That one doesn't do anything like, I don't know, make Danny drink, but it's still a good one. Special abilities, here we go. All right, grenade eggs.
But do they explode, or are they lava filled?
No, I think that has to be like a lair item, right? When you come upon their lair, I don't imagine this thing shitting out grenades on the battlefield.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Although that would be pretty dope.
Well, chickens lay one egg a day. So if it laid one a day that did, say, 2d 6 points of damage, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I
fully agree. I think this dude being like a fire-based familiar, it gives the wizard or whoever has it uses them to its advantage. I don't think that it itself is like bending over and rocketing grenade eggs.
After 4 days, though, I would imagine it just hardens into a rock after 4 days.
There you go. Yeah.
So you don't have your warlock with like 500 goddamn exploding eggs.
Oh no, he's been pooping out eggs for weeks. I've got 24 of them right here. Hey, Alyssa, thank you for the raid. Welcome. For those of you just
Alyssa.
joining us, we are working on the yet-to-be-named, although commonly called Triceracox, a fire elemental-based chicken from the elemental plane of fire who, while on the prime material plane, has a tendency to lay grenade or lava-like eggs. Commonly used as a familiar, those eggs can be used by its master as grenade-like weapons.
I'm really impressed, Phil, that you banging this art out without like scribbling all over the place. Like you just like went right for it.
Oh,
Like
thank
Tony
you.
DiGerlizzi was.
Yeah. I'm not gonna beat up Tony.
No. We're teasing. We were just joking earlier about how it's good to see artists produce in live because you see that they go through the same trials and tribulations as the rest of us.
Yes.
I was gonna say maybe we need a D6 table. You know how I love my D6 table, Matt, for the eggs. It could produce any of a number of different eggs. You could get like elemental eggs.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that. So maybe some of them are lava, and some of them are exploding, and some of them are just inert.
Yeah, some of some of those like those little cartoon fire elementals that dance around and set things on fire and cause shenanigans.
Yeah, and it won't lay another one until the other one becomes inert.
Oh, there you go. So you only got one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So we
I'm
don't
just
hate
imagining.
the
I'm seeing the necromancer running around his lab, and the PCs break the door in, and he's like looking around. And he reaches into the nest.
So it's a little bit like a cock of wonder.
Oh, and I'm thinking Triceracox wouldn't be bad. COX.
I keep
there
giving
you
this
go.
a
I like
rooster
that.
sort of name, but roosters don't lay the eggs.
Triceracox.
But
Done. I like that.
If I was in porn, that'd be my name, Triceracox.
Triceracox.
It'd have to be between 84 and 92, though, to be a porno star with that name.
This is a fantastic time to warn the audience. This is an adult show. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in.
I didn't mean it to be, but it just ended up that way.
So this
That's
is
how the show goes.
Yeah. This is a small small fire elemental beast. It is the original concept is for Lloyd's. What's it called? What's the
Cluckingham Palace.
Cluckingham? I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Cluckingham Palace adventure. So if you get to ever play that, you watch out. All right, volatile eggs. The Triceracox.
Ooh, not to rush us, but special ability tastes like chicken. If you eat its corpse or eat its flesh, it has like regenerative or healing powers of some sort.
It should taste like pollo caliente.
Yes, exactly.
Right. It's so hot you have to make a Constitution saving throw just to eat it. But if you do, you are immune to fire or resistant to fire.
Yeah. I like it. Hey,
And you have to put the toilet paper in the freezer the night before.
Hey, Alyssa. Hey, for everybody who rated in for the glory of Rome, maybe somebody could source us a really great Latin-sounding scientific name for Triceracox.
Yes.
It's a fire elemental chicken familiar.
Triceracox. No.
Okay, Matt.
Matt keeps going for those like names that you just can't pronounce.
Hey, my dad. I grew up. My father's a paleontologist, so all I ever hear are those. He never calls anything like brontosaurus. Oh no, it's the Apatosaurus afarensi or whatever. What?
Yeah. I didn't know that. Really? Your dad's a paleontologist?
Yeah, Mike Everhart. He's actually quite famous in those circles.
Wow, that's really cool. Learn something new every day.
Yeah. All right, one egg each day. These eggs on the elemental plane of fire. These behave. Bird, egg, wood. However,
Thanks, Alyssa. That's all Matt doing that frame.
Hey, Alyssa, much love to you. My
Llama
artistic
Pullum.
sister from another
Ooh.
mister.
Llama Pullum.
What I keep thinking of flaming hot potato chips. I want it to be like the flaming hot chicken, but
Llama Pollo.
Flama Pollo.
Yeah, I think you're getting somewhere.
Hey, good chance to thank everybody who participated in virtual GaryCon in the last few days. Now that we've all come down from the high of jumping on Zoom and playing with all of our friends, apparently I saw Carolyn posted 1,953 attendees.
And that's
Actually,
only the ones that we tracked, because a lot of people like myself would watch your show not by getting a ticket, but by just grabbing the link off of the posting and go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And that was, there was also another 101 special badges. So it was actually like 2020, I think, was the last count of official badges. And like Lloyd just said, there was who knows how many more.
Yeah, and it was amazing that like everybody just came together in like a week and made that happen. I mean, maybe it should be mentioned that I'm the art director for GaryCon too. So.
Yes.
Yeah, we should probably add that to your accolades. I apologize.
Yeah.
Radius explodes in a 10-foot radius when thrown. 6 fire damage.
Oh, flammable things should have to make a save, huh?
Oh yeah. I want to think about its nest. It must have some really messed up nest.
Yes.
It exudes small amount of lava. Feeling
Fluff and Prince
66.
just getting naughty.
What?
Fluff and Prince just getting naughty.
We don't have no sensors on. Actually, maybe we do. I was gonna say I don't think we have any sensors on here, but maybe we do.
I think it automatically censors for language at a medium level, and you got to turn it down.
Oh, maybe that's why they had me sign back in and I had to do that whole code thing. It said I was doing illegal stuff. Was I swearing a lot last week, or did I? Oh, maybe it was that story I told about the nuns.
About the nuns and the church people visiting your house.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's why Skype kicked me off. I'm sorry, guys. This is why you don't invite Phil.
Phil's life is a violation of Twitch's policy.
Oh wait, maybe the Triceracox can be turned by divine casters.
Yes, especially moralistic, pious ones.
Yeah, like pompous paladins full of themselves can turn the Triceracox.
Their very existence is offended by its name.
It is, thanks to Michael, resistant to necrotic damage. By the way, if you have seen some of the cards come across, or you're just now tuning in, you can go to our Streamloots account, get some cards, and interact with us, including a lot of abilities in those cards to provide input on the monster itself. So that is streamloots.com/wizards of the couch, and that helps support the show. And they're quite a bit funny when.
Hey, and oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then this egg is in there. Oh, that's it. That's all I was going to say.
I was just going to say that this coming Monday, we are going to be doing a Wizards of the Couch show where we are going to be talking about Distance and Dragons, remote gaming options, and how to set up a killer remote game. Everything from talking the technology to talking about how to gather people effectively, and the 1-2-3 punch of guaranteeing player engagement online that we kind of developed during the VGC. So I hope everybody will join us 9 o'clock on Monday for the Four Wizards to discuss just kind of how Virtual GaryCon came about, how we rallied a lot of people, and people rallied themselves, like Lloyd said, and kind of like what people's favorite cocktail was for getting people to the game and running it.
The word cock keeps coming
just
up.
Not going to get away from it, are we?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Well, Alyssa's here, so there's no question it's going to like we're not going to let go.
Well, it's just a derivative of the baby maker from last week.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Big Daddy's barbed baby maker.
Yep. Still painful to think about.
Blindbard said that they moved the Pathfinder campaign. I saw that Roll20. Speaking of Distance and Dragons, I just got an email from them that they shot out a bunch of free Pathfinder stuff just like today and yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they said, I talked to, who was it? Her name now, of course, at Roll20 before GaryCon kicked off, and they said they were going to release some stuff here this week. So that's good. Glad they went through with it.
I'm not
volatile.
a Pathfinder player, but I did a listen show with Stephen Rodney McFarlane, and I'm starting to get a little twitchy for Pathfinder.
It's a fun game.
We ran... SRM ran us through an adventure that he's working on for 2nd edition, and it was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. Had a great group of people too, which always helps, but it was fun.
I had a great time hanging out with him at CobaltCon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so I think this guy has a bite. Gore, right?
Yeah, he's got to have gore, because when he drives that beacon and those horns in.
Well, maybe he radiates an aura of sauciness, so all bards within like 20 feet need to save or become instantly randy.
Need some flaming hot wings.
Well, the word cock keeps coming up so much, you know. like he just seduces bards. It's like a flip. It's like a flip, you know.
Maybe that's the taste like chicken. All right, taste like chicken was eating the flesh of a Triceracox. Wait, did we have? I saw some names pop up. Did we have any good suggestions on?
Yeah,
names?
we had Flamapullum, but I'd like to get hot in there. I think that's the hot flame chicken. We need flaming hot flaming chicken.
Hot flaming chicken.
Alyssa said Calidin Cantivit Gallus.
Ooh.
That is something.
Can we contract that somehow?
You say, what have the Romans have ever given us?
I mean, besides medicine and roads and the legal system and
the aqueduct.
You know, things and stuff.
You know, things and stuff that you like.
Yeah, but it wasn't sitcoms, though, was it?
Oh,
they did not give us Seinfeld. That's true.
That's a big touche right there.
Well, that could be arguable, I guess, with the artists and playwrights.
Calidum Cantavit Gallus. I like Gallus. Flamma Gallus. Flampullum Gallus.
Flammagalus. Actually, now let's step back from Triceracox. Flammagalus. Flamagalus. Flammagalus. It reminds me of, what's that fucking thing that lives in the swamp that kills you with its gaze? The Cataplebus.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
This would be the
all about that creature.
Let's go to something that sounds like phallic or something, you know.
So sorry we decided a chicken of all things.
I blame Lloyd.
He is the contestant.
If anybody on the stream has a problem with this, just remember it was Lloyd's idea.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Mr. Maps, you're
when you're
right.
talking,
He does
when you're
need some
talking crap,
spurs.
just make sure you spell the name right. That's all.
Yeah. If I'm going to be
Two L's,
accused,
folks. 2 L's.
I prefer to be
That's
accused
right.
correctly.
That's right. Get the name and the website correct.
I think this thing is
Arden's
dope,
Corner.
but I feel like do we feel like it's aggressive enough, or does it need more spiky bits? I hate to be Warhammer-y,
No,
but
I feel like it. I feel like it needs like something that requires a saving throw or something. You know, it's not to turn to stone like a cockatrice, but something.
Right. No, I'm with you. There's something not fitting around the midsection to the ass. There's nothing. He's got
It needs
nothing going on.
It needs a cocktail.
There it is. Ooh, what about a cock whipping tail, like a
Scorpion tail.
scorpion tail? There it is.
Matt's doing the gravity part published.
He does need some spurs on his feet. That was one of the
It
comments.
does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like, and maybe it's because they're folded up, but his wings are like half the size they should be. Didn't we talk about? Weren't we gonna do some like thumb spurs on the wings too? Wasn't that a thing? Although if you can do it right, and I have every confidence you can, I didn't mean to imply that I didn't. A tail, like some sort of spiky tail, would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
You know, I saw you do a technique last week, Phil, where you cut a piece away
Oh yeah.
and duped and scaled it. Maybe all you have to do is do that for the wing to give that wing to droop down almost to the ground. Like a series of layers going
you
down.
want it longer? Because I was looking at it. I got a photo reference of like just a regular chicken.
Yeah.
And it's got like little wings.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. This is the dire
it's almost
version
like
of that, right?
Gotcha.
It's almost
okay.
like it's missing the bend there or something. I
yeah,
think
it's got no.
What if
you're
you
90%.
What if you did like?
Oh, that looks better.
What if this
We're gonna
guy
give
had some sort of
this the
weaponized peacock tail? See, I got it in there.
There you go. Matt said cock. You heard him. He's been trying to avoid it this whole time, but now we've drawn him in. We've drawn him into our web of iniquity.
I'm still voting for the scorpion tail. You know, it could sting you right through a hole, like a glory hole. Right? Bang!
Yeah. Thanks, Michael, for purchasing five packs. That's awesome. Really appreciate it. Despite the downturn this show has taken.
All right, now I'm gonna go back to PG-13. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen.
No, it does not need to be preached. Don't take me wrong.
No, you all said it was like, you all said you had no expectations, so I'm glad I met the bar right at the floor.
Hey, Phil, take a drink.
Deal. Who keeps buying me drinks?
That one was Michael, I think. Yeah, Michael Ritter.
Michael's not messing around. He's in it to win it tonight.
Thank you, Michael.
Hey,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
it's
anyway.
off
That's
to
what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. Lloyd was the weaponized peacock tail. If you get some sort of like, if he's got some big.
Oh yeah, save versus charm or something.
I wasn't going there. I was talking about stabbing people with it, but that's good too. I like that.
Oh well, the peacock tail is like all feathers that spreads out, and like is shimmering, scintillating sort of colors.
And when it flips around, what's that like a?
Oh, it would be kind of cool if it had a peacock tail, but then behind it was like a scorpion tail that would be like.
Yes.
That wing is that's awesome. That's much better.
We're getting there. Hold on. We're gonna plus it.
All right, folks. I'm not happy with the Triceracox name. We need something else. Flagranti.
Flamigalis.
Flamigalis. All right. Try that for a minute. Flamma.
Yep. It only has to live for a minute, and if we run out of time, hey, it's not my problem.
We just get. Yeah.
Hop onto Google Translate and see what I can come up with.
Flamma. That's.
Hey, listen, a good point. We should be talking to God, now I'm spacing his name. At Effin Cool, John.
John Popson,
about making minis, man.
Yeah, he was on the show 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he's gonna do the. He was already promised to do the Shetlands. Yeah,
Dude, a troop of Shetlings would be dope.
Fire chicken in Norwegian is brandkilling.
Ooh.
Norwegian, I like it.
Show just got international.
Shall I post the spelling of that?
Yeah, probably, because I think I just butchered it. I just put up another name, Bran Keeling.
I just threw it in the chat.
Oh, there we go. And what is that?
That's fire chicken in Norwegian. Apparently, according to Google Translate. So we all know how that works. It might mean like spicy banana for all I know.
Google Translate is generally intended only to offend the locals.
I think it's created just to embarrass tourists.
Right. They look at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I would love to go visit Japan someday, and I fully expect to ask someone for their underpants or something. And
Yeah.
When I just want a drink of like a coffee or something.
Mix it up. Flammekeiling.
They look at you like the word
Yeah,
tail and
mash
what you
it
said were
together.
so close.
This is going to be one of those
Flammekeiling.
monsters 20 years from now. People are going to be like, so how the hell do you spell, or do you say Flammekeiling?
Oh, I think you were onto something like brandkilling, but you need to space it. Oh, flammekeiling. Yeah. That's how I name all my stuff. I go to Google Translate,
Maps
come
on
up with
that
words, mash them together.
Yeah, Miss J Maps. Yeah, Flammekeiling. I think that's kicking it.
Oh,
Yes,
Michael
that
Rose
rolls
got an
off the
immunity. Piercing. It's immune to piercing damage because screw shooting it out of the sky. Immunity. All right. Piercing. All right, I dig that. Yeah, we can give it immunity to piercing. It's got some tough elemental fire, rock-like feathers, maybe.
And part of me makes me feel like the old monsters of lore of Greek mythology. There was no explanation why they could do that shit. Can't.
I know, and they would just slap stuff together. They would say like,
It doesn't matter. You can't stick a sword through it. Too bad.
they would just slap stuff together too. Like it's got houses for feet, and it's like, and they didn't explain that. They just said, there it is.
It's got houses for feet.
Somebody pipes up and says, "This doesn't make any sense," and somebody else says, "Put that man to death."
Right.
And nobody complained ever again. All right.
Yeah.
Eating the flesh of a Flammekeiling.
After that, people didn't worry about things making sense.
Flesh.
And thus we had the golden age of Greece.
That's how we got flatter.
Oh,
One
there it
guy
is.
got hit by lightning. It was all like, don't argue.
I think instead of like an over the top stinger, I think that dude should be swinging that thing, like when he goes to.
He
Should
come
be like
out
a
between his
blade.
legs underneath.
Oh,
That's
invert.
No, I'm gonna draw the line.
Wait, who said that?
Wow.
Did you say that?
Yes, he did.
No, it
Hold
wasn't.
on,
It was
Lloyd.
Phil.
I got something for
It's
you.
all Phil. No.
Hold on. Danny
Yeah,
loves
for
this
crying
trick.
out
Watch this,
loud.
Danny.
If you razor edged
What?
metal tail feather. That's what I was.
Oh,
What's the trick? Oh,
We got-
he's moving it. Oh, yeah.
And we got
See?
two of them now. It's a symmetrical double stinger.
Double. There it goes.
Matt's gonna have to have
Too
a
far.
post-show
Too far.
conversation with Phil.
That's
Foul.
That's going straight to
Foul.
Poultry Hub.
Like what I did there. I agree with
Foul.
Miss J Maps
Flag on the
that
field.
so a couple of razor edged metal tail feathers. So kind of like what you're doing.
Right?
Yeah.
But a couple of them. I think that's great. And then when it flips it, like bird. What is that South American bird that does the dance and it always whips its tail around? So it's
Oh,
got-
the little blue and black one?
yeah.
I like that little bird.
Like Bird
Yeah,
of
but
Paradise. or
This
something,
one,
yeah.
this one whips its metal tipped feathers around.
Yep. Oh, man. You could have had a double stinger. I'll make one for you, Lloyd. I'll do it.
All right. That's
Um,
neat.
See, that's the
I'll do
after
it
dark
separate.
version.
Yes, I'm going to do version 2 for Lloyd.
Whose monster is it? chaotic evil.
Lloyd, no, seriously, dude, you don't need to do that. It's okay. No, I'm gonna.
Danny, take a drink, buddy.
Me?
Michael Ritter on point tonight.
Michael Ritter, this delicious swallow of Jameson is for you.
Oh boy.
Jameson.
Oh, not the. Oh my. That card was worth about $4 right there. Whatever, the $5 worth of whiskey you just drank.
Cheers, Alyssa. Yeah, it's actually Jameson is that one that nobody seems to complain about, no matter how snobby they are about whiskey. They'll almost always drink a little Jameson.
I don't like the aftertaste. I really like what is it? Whether they dip in the red wax there, Maker's Mark. I enjoy that a lot.
Oh yeah. My favorite right now is if I'm going for the hyper peaty Scotch, I drink Bunnahabhain, and if I want to drink just a good clean amber whiskey, I'll drink Napogue Castle.
Got out
That
of
sounds
price
very
range
Irish.
quick, I think.
Yeah, right. That's just.
But I limit myself to spending only so much on whiskey right now, so it's like I can't indulge my Balvenie.
Right. Right now, I'm living on an RPG budget, so it's Canadian.
Yeah, fair enough.
Stance to fire for resistance to fire. This effect lasts until next long rest. All right, this hour went by super fast. We're out of time, folks. We need to figure out what this tail does and put this guy to bed.
I like
So
that
what's
it's. I
do?
think of it a fire lance. It's like it heats up and then. Psh,
Oh, that is dope. I love that
red,
idea.
Red hot poker.
yeah.
So when it's doing its little chicken walk through the elemental plane of fire, you just see these red tip spikes behind it.
Yep.
In the darkness.
Oh yeah. It always
So
glow
hey,
a little.
in about 15 minutes.
I tried to stop myself, Alyssa. I tried to stop myself. I couldn't.
just a tip.
Hey, in about 15 minutes, after this is over, I'm not sure when this will close, but in about 15 minutes after that, we're going to be back here. I think we're going to be back with Lloyd, and but for sure we'll be back with KC doing Strange Encounters, a new show here on the channel, where we are going to draw a map and work out an encounter of some sort. Last week we did kobolds, and it got pretty weird, wouldn't you say, Matt? It got.
Oh, I love that encounter. I can't wait to play it. It was great. It was really
Yeah.
good.
After this show, are you sure that I'm going to be on? I mean, I think I just got canceled.
My show is the After Dark show. So.
So
You are perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine.
It's the warm-up act.
So we got a legendary card played just a few seconds ago, green card played just a few seconds ago, and that was suggesting an attack form for this creature. So Michael's helping us out with this one, and he's going to give it shooting, like these, when it swings around, it's going to fling these things off almost like a death strike or something. So it'll regrow
maybe you
them.
can throw those razor feathers.
Yeah, exactly what he said. So that does like some sort of fire damage, I'm assuming, when it flings them. What do we want to call that? Flinging chicken? Flinging.
Well, are the razor maybe
dancing.
the razor feathers are Vorpal, and they cause bleeding for 1d4 rounds after they hit.
Oh, I like bleeding. Yeah, that's good. So it doesn't.
Hey,
Uh-oh,
Matt,
we
I
lost
just
Andy.
ducked out on video, but I'm still on audio. I'm just getting my setup done.
Oh, okay. We got 30 minutes between shows, but okay. All right. So
Whatever, Danny. We don't need you.
yeah, I like that. So so they do initial fire damage and then some bleed damage after the fact.
Yeah.
Hey, what do we want to call this? Somebody give me a name.
I thought you had it. Oh, for
No,
the
what is
attack?
what's the ability called? Anyone? Somebody in chat?
Bueller.
Danny, you need a
Bueller?
cardboard. Alyssa says you need a cardboard cutout of yourself to put up there instead of the blue Skype window. Foul Flay. Yes.
Oh, that's nice. Nice.
It's a nice
There we
way to
go.
end the night on that one.
A Flammakiling. Now I can't even pronounce my own creature. Hey Matt, how do you pronounce this thing? I don't know.
Flammakiling.
Yeah, Flammakiling. That's what I'm going with.
Drink
I
this.
think
We'll get to it later.
And I would like to say, I would like to give my wife cred for bringing home Moxie for me.
What is it?
Moxie, the drink of Maine.
Oh, there you go. Here's your
Yeah,
shot.
she brought me home a whole case of it.
Red poker like razor sharp red poker like tail feathers. And a hit, the tail feather deals. What do we think? 2d6? Oh no, that's fine. Last laugh. I appreciate you. Flammakiling.
Flammakiling.
All right. Deals 2d6. Is that enough? Or I'm thinking this is like it only has a couple of these
That's
things,
right.
so maybe
That's
it
right,
does more damage.
Alyssa. This is my boule. This is like Flammakiling. This is my boule with like Tim Kask.
About 2d8. Fire damage. Critical hit. Creature also suffers 1d4 bleed damage. And 5e, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out there? Aka Flare. Here we go! Alright, bleed damage bleeds until healed, right? With either a cure spell or like a heal ability, is that correct?
Ooh, that's even worse. I was just thinking a few rounds, but that's
I'm pretty sure that's how bleed works. The follow button should be up there somewhere in your top in the top bar, particularly if you're logged in. It is. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have done that.
It's the heart button, right?
Oh, of course, I don't have it when I'm logged into my own channel. But yeah, it should be up there, right above the live button. Should be like a heart or something to that effect.
In Twitch, there's a gift to sub,
Blind
there's a
bard.
bell and a heart for follow. And if you hit the bell, you get a notification when it goes live.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Foul Flay. I love that. That is awesome. Bleed damage, we'll figure that up in post. So now I gotta give it its Foul Flay ability, or Foul Flay attack. Foul Flay. Soil. Weapon attack. That's a +3 to... no, that's actually +5 to hit. Or range of 10 feet, 15 feet. It can really fling those things. Range 15. Cool. All right. Well, we have run this chicken to ground. The Flammakiling from the northern reaches of Scandinavia, somewhere in Scandinavian type areas. This creature is a small elemental beast of the elemental plane of fire. It's got a pretty lowly armor class of 11. These are literal chickens of the fire elemental plane. It's got a speed of 20 feet with a 40 foot fly 40 feet. It's immune to fire damage, and its metallic and stone-like wings make it immune, or immune? Yeah, I guess we did give it immune to piercing damage. It's got a vulnerability to... Michael Ritter says +1 AC, so it's actually got a 12. Thanks, Michael.
It's rock hard. What?
So
I don't know what's so funny. I mean, I
so
don't.
difficult that it is immune to piercing. but it is vulnerable to cold, as most fire elementals are, and resistant to necrotic damage. It's got dark vision of 60 feet with a perception of 11. It has volatile eggs, which give a random roll. It lays 1 egg a day. On the elemental plane of fire, these eggs are normal, and they grow up to be other little flamakilings there. But on the elemental plane, or on the prime plane, they're very volatile and can turn into grenades or even lava eggs. Tastes like chicken. Eating a flamakiling is sporty. You have to make a constitution save because the flesh is so spicy. However, if you do, you're immune to, or you gain resistance to fire until your next long rest. And then it's piece de resistance, the foul flay. The flamakiling spins itself around, detaching one of its razor-sharp red poker-like tails. Red hot poker-like tails. Red hot.
This would be a great solution, so you could have like adventures on the infernal planes if you just eat a flamakiling.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, that's a kick-ass idea, Lloyd.
So
maybe
do you think it's
maybe
resistant or
Cluckingham
immune?
Palace, teeters on the edge of, the subplanes.
So is it immunity or is it resistance? Immunity is pretty steep. That's a pretty powerful
That's
ability.
pretty steep.
Resistance is good enough, I think. That's fine.
Well,
and
resistance, maybe resistance on the prime material plane, but you're immune, so you're able to walk through the lower planes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see, I think it needs to, if we're going to go that way, it's got to go like an immunity in hell. So it's that one thing, you stock up on flamakiling jerky before you hit the road to hell.
That's right. On the highway, before you hit the highway.
Yes.
On the elemental plane of fire, however, this becomes an immunity to fire. Nice, I like it. And this effect lasts until the next long rest. Okay, Lloyd, this was awesome. This is a fantastic creature. I love it.
It feels Greek to me too.
Yeah. I think the name is
does.
definitely helping that. Yeah. Vulnerable to cold. I was in the pool. Another fantastic Seinfeld reference.
The scorpion tail shrivels up.
Another fantastic Seinfeld reference. All right. This is Whose Monster Is It Anyway? Thank you very much, Lloyd Metcalf, for being our fantastic and very creative contestant on Whose Monster Is It Anyway? We will be back next week, Thursday at the same time, 9 p.m. Central, for another show. Phil, awesome work as usual.
Thank you.
Fantastic job. This looks really awesome. Thought we were going to be in trouble suggesting a giant chicken, but you pulled it off as usual. This is great. Danny, we'll see you back here in just a couple minutes, right? We'll be back on at 10:30 Central for our second episode of Strange Encounters. So stick around, go grab yourself a beverage, and we'll be back on in about 20 minutes. Thanks, folks. Have a good night.